Okay, so for the first experiment, the part of the experiment, we're gonna use a wooden stick. It's 15 centimeter long, and for the sinking buoy for the first part, I used some paper clip that I tied on the side of the wooden stick that we're gonna put inside this container and fill it gradually with water until the top. So here we are at pretty much the beginning of our experiment of the part of the sinking buoy. We have like 5.5 centimeter of water in this case, and the bottom of the container is touching the lower part of the stick that has a sinking buoy. So we have also an angle with the horizontal and a small part outside the water. So now we have our sinking buoy part, and you can see that the stick is doing a angle with the horizontal, and the bottom of the stick is touching the bottom of the container. And as you can see, the more we add water, the bigger the angle of the stick with the horizontal will be. So we have a part that is inside the water, which is the bigger part, and the part that is outside the water. So here we have our sinking buoy part. The bottom of the stick is touching the bottom of the container, and we have a little bit a little part of the stick that is outside the water because of the level of the water that is smaller than the length of the stick, but the bottom is touching the bottom of the container. Okay, so now we have filled our container entirely with water until the top, and for our sinking buoy, we can see that all the stick is submerged inside the water, and the lower part of the stick is touching the bottom of the container. For the second part of the experiment, we're going to use the same stick, which is the same length, and the same container filled with water, which we're going to fill with water gradually. But the difference is that we have changed the weight of the weight at the end of the stick. I used some bread ties instead of paper clips, which are lighter. Our floating buoy part. For the floating buoy part, we can see that the lower part of the stick is touching the water, but we have an angle with the horizontal line. So here we have our floating buoy, which is a little bit inclined, and we still have a part of the buoy that is outside the water, but the part that is inside is not touching the the ground. It is really really close, but it's not touching the bottom of the container. So here we can see that I filled entirely our container with water, and we have a part that is in the air, and the majority of the stick is inside the water. However, the difference with the sinking buoy is that the bottom of the stick does not touch the bottom of the container, which is the difference with the sinking buoy. So this is our second part of the experiment, which is the floating buoy.